Modern American Canasta presents our next Game On discussion. Join Dara Collins and Donna Miller-Small to get insight into decision-making during live games. Our book, Modern American Canasta, The Complete Guide, meets you wherever you are on your canasta journey and is available on modernamericancanasta.com.
So welcome. We are doing Game On with Dara and me, Donna, and we're gonna see what the cards deal to us and
Exactly.
share our insights in play. So let the
Perfect. So
game begin.
we have a separate video that is on our YouTube channel that goes over the different features of RealCanasta. So if you haven't played yet on RealCanasta and you're setting up for the trial or you joined, you could watch that video. Here, as we play, if there's anything we'll point out, but we'll start a new game and we'll do you think medium?
Yes.
Yeah. Medium. Meld base is 5. If you're not sure what that means, we will go into it more in detail as we play, but also it is the number of cards after you open. So everybody has the same opening requirements. It's the number of cards after you open that you need natural cards before you could add 1 or 2 wild cards. And I'll put us on invisible mode. Okay. So that's the threes. So I'm sure Donna knows what I'm looking at here.
Yeah.
So I always look right away for special hands. So the fact that we have the pair of 2s, 1 ace, 1 7, right away, I'm just considering that we don't have any pure triples right yet. And let me pick. Oh, and by the way, the reason the 3s went up automatically is in the settings, in more options, I have it set auto meld 3s. If I happen to get dealt a 2 and a joker and an ace and a 3, sometimes I'll turn it off quickly before it's my turn just to consider going for the straight. But 99 out of 100 times I don't. Because on RealCanasta, if you keep the 3 and don't get the straight, you have to, your partner is the only one that can go out. You can't go out on RealCanasta. If you're playing in a home game, you turn the last card face down, so it doesn't matter what your last card is.
And I just want to add that for those who are not as familiar with special hands, we will be doing a separate tutorial on special hands. So just follow along with us. If you have questions about special hands, you could ask us on our Facebook group, which we'll share at the end. And there is a list of special hands that RealCanasta does recognize, and we'll pull those up at some point maybe, but just play along with us.
Okay, so since we have a 125 meld base, we're not as concerned with points as we are with getting another natural triple. So even so, I would probably get rid of either the 4, 5, or 6.
Yep, either one.
So sometimes, I know this sounds silly, sometimes I'll do the 6 because I think people think if you throw a 6, then you don't have a 4. We don't have a pair of 4, so it really doesn't matter. But
okay,
I just think human nature, people a lot of times.
right. I think that's a good tip. I started doing that even with higher single cards.
Yeah.
They're open. They've got the big guy over there. All right, we'll see. So they're open on their first pick.
And one thing, just remember, if you are new and you're playing on RealCanasta before you play in person, just remember that in most games, if you don't pick your talon, you lose it. Where on RealCanasta, it picks it for you. There's no forgetting.
Right,
So,
same thing with 3s. If you have it on the auto store. Well, we got 2 7s. This is on the way to a special with wild cards.
Pairs, and since you have a wild card, then the pairs must include a pair of aces and a pair of 7s.
And it's good they haven't opened for us as well. Here our partner is opening. Okay, that's a good thing, hopefully. Oh, we match. All right, good with the aces. Okay, all right.
So normally, if you are playing in RealCanasta with other people, you could go onto this little screen button. Now it says chat, because obviously we're not going to chat a computer, but you could go here and you could type, and there's different abbreviations. A lot of times people write TYP, which stands for thank you partner, or just TY. And then people write back MPP for my pleasure partner. Usually most people aren't very chatty. They're here to play, but sometimes people are. So would you pick it?
Yeah, we're gonna pick the pack with 2 9s. Why not?
Okay, so now that we pick the pack, we don't pick the card. And we have an ace we could add, we have a 9 we could add, we have a 5 we could add. Do you say hold it all and throw?
I did, at this point, they're on the way to closing 1 canasta, but I don't see where it's gonna, unless we could close out a canasta, I say you just hold on,
And then, so maybe depending on where they are, because it's such a game of nuanced decisions, we could have this exact same setup and our opponents were at 6,000 points and had 1 canasta. I would be putting all my cards down, trying to make sure we get a canasta. Here, I don't mind sitting at all. The one important thing is, if we added the ace, that would put the ace meld in the 5th position, which we've discussed this before. You can't have more than 7 cards in a canasta. So once you have 5 cards, neither you nor your opponent can pick the pack. So since they don't have an ace meld, that's a card they might throw thinking it's a safe card now because we have 4 cards out. So you really don't want this early with 38 cards still in the pack. You don't want to make something in the 5th position. So
it's early. We write about this in our strategy with flow of the game. So yeah, throw the 4.
And a lot of times I sit there, not for a long time, but you sit there debating over what to throw. It was an empty pack. There was only, couldn't get, so
Now
that's
our partner did have aces. Maybe they got them in the talon, throws a queen because they can't pick it.
One ace. No. We want 8s or jacks, but we didn't get those. But at least we can close the ace. Now we know what we're throwing. We definitely know we're discarding the 7.
Oh, a
Now,
7.
since they have no canastas, even though they're close, I don't mind now adding the 5 and our 2 wild cards, because then we'd have 2.
Oh, right. Yeah. He put down a 5. Yeah, a
So
good
now
point.
that, and the wild cards don't go. You have to tell them where to go.
Yeah. So we got 2 canastas. Yeah. Now I would probably you're not going to lay down anything else? Would you lay
Yeah,
down?
I get the jacks. Yeah.
I would, because our partner unloaded. We've got 2 canastas.
Yeah.
I don't think we're going to be looking to pick the pack again.
No.
So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Unless someone else picks the pack before us, we don't want to be stuck with the 7s. 'Cause
Right.
now, there's at least our 3rd 7 in there.
They closed out 6s.
Oh, so it's funny, since I'm screen sharing, I don't see, okay, I see now, I see they have 4 cards left.
They're
Right, so
closing
now they
out.
have their 2 also.
All right. They're getting rid of stuff. They have jacks. We have jacks. Ace is the safe card. Nothing we can really.
So king, we're not going to do anything with. It's 6. I think it's our safest card to throw.
Yeah.
And then what's
Oh.
interesting is, even if something's in the 5th position, or even if they can't pick it because they have the more, it's never a completely safe card, because if our partner throws something, or if we throw something the next time, then they could pick that pack. So if you do have a card that's a dead card, that's always the safest card.
You put the 2 on the 9s?
Yeah.
Yeah. Good.
So we have no cards in any closed canastas. We don't have an ace, a 5, a queen, or a 6.
Yeah, the king.
Yep.
Yeah.
So it's funny, medium is much slower than fast, because when it's fast, it just gets right back to you.
Yeah, we could. Oh,
Okay.
see, they're gonna go out. That's fine. All right.
So at least we kept, we started they started in front, the lead.
Right.
At least we kept up.
So we're close. Yeah,
Mhm.
we're close.
Okay.
All right.
So
let's
you
go.
could look at the scoring. It goes through, it tells you the red and black 3s are scored. They are the same. They're just scored separately. They use the term dirty canastas. Those are 300 points. We call them mixed.
Mixed.
Clean, we call pure. We didn't have any pure. And then our card count, they figure out all the cards on the table, less the cards in hand. So it was funny. I was thinking of something the other day. So let's say they have 4 or 3 jacks out, or no, 4. So we know we're not going to close jacks, but we have 3 in hand. So usually to me, those are great discards. Like if you know you need some discards. But the other day I looked and I realized that I had plenty of other discards. And if I'm doing the math correctly, by putting the 3 jacks out, I'm getting the 30 points, but I'm also not getting deducted the 30. So it's actually a 60-point swing. It's not just a 30-point swing, you know? So,
Right, well, yes, yeah, absolutely. If you
so,
had
you know, I
other
usually
cards.
think of it as, oh, let me just get rid of them.
No, they're 30 points. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. All right,
Okay.
it's an even game.
Yep.
Oh, they're opening.
I gotta move our,
Usually on RealCanasta, I find they even it out. If one opens, then they give the other one, but it's computer programmed, so it's not always going to be.
okay, that's good. Now I move the,
Okay.
let's see. So, oh, wow. Okay, so in RealCanasta, you can take the cards, don't double click or that'll discard them. But if you single tap on them, it'll bring the cards up. So since we have only one wild card, we can't use these 6s because we only have a wild card to add them. So at this point, they have 5, 9, and Jack. I mean, I would do a 5 just to, maybe there's less of a chance they have it. They might pick it. No, they didn't.
Now the cards don't go back down. I guess if you
if you hit an X, they go back down on the left.
Okay.
Or if you or your partner open. The one thing to be very wary of, though, if you have a special, the word special does not appear if you're in the middle of counting the cards. So I say the 9 for now.
Yeah, we still don't have it with points, I guess. Yeah.
I think we're very close. Let's see. Now we can use the 6s. Are we at 150? Oh, we're at 125.
Oh, so we did have it. Okay.
All right, well, we're not going to pick the pack.
Because it's only one.
This is a great example. We can pick the pack. However, don't pick the pack. I mean, most times there might be a strategy to do it, but do not pick the pack to open if you're going to get less than the 4 or 3 cards for your talon. So right now we would only get 1 card. So do you think we open since we have
I'd say open. What are we waiting for?
Yeah, no, sometimes I wait to pick the back. Usually I
with
wait.
aces.
Yeah, usually I wait if I have 1 ace and they didn't open with aces. Okay, so now let's look.
Yeah, we need the 4. What are you going to throw out?
Throw the Jack.
Yeah, because they have them up. Yeah, we're going to hold aces because
no
they
one
haven't been mixed. So strategically, you hold them.
So that's interesting.
They just put down a 5?
They added a 9 and a 5.
Yeah, I don't, it must be computer programming. This is not what to do, folks. I don't believe in putting down cards unless it lets you close out a canasta.
To me, the reason to do it sometimes is if you want to see if your partner has wild cards to add. You know, you want to see if they could close the canasta or whatever. But I think the computers definitely do it. They do it on more than one meld and they do it way off in the night.
Way off, and he threw an ace, so this probably got 2 in the hand.
So, I mean, I think the 4 is, we don't want to add.
Probably the 4.
I mean, they might have it. They just threw a 4. They're less cards.
Oh, they're ready to close out 9s.
So once canastas are closed, and this is very important if you're if you're opening with a wild card meld. Once canastas are closed, you cannot hover over them and see what wild cards were used. So I know in the 9s there were 2. I know there was a joker and a 2. It's not as important now because we've already opened, but when you're trying to open with a wild card meld, it's important to keep observe that if you can before they close.
There's 2 aces in the discard pile.
Yeah. So I don't want to do an ace.
Queens haven't been played really.
Usually, I mean, queens, they're probably going to pick the pack, but
What about 6s?
Well, we have milled a
Oh, we
three.
have 1 6, yeah, 3 6s, yeah.
I mean, I think
Yeah.
we do queen and let them pick the pack rather than.
Yeah, with the aces,
Want to
yeah.
try at all times. They
Yeah.
to
Yeah,
keep at least 2 aces and 7s if people haven't used them. Because if
Right.
they close out a pure of either one of those, that's a big
Yeah.
win for them. Right, so that was a good discard for our partner.
Hmm.
Oh, so let's see. Yeah, so we could actually see the whole pack. So it's a 4, a jack, and a 8. We might as well pick it.
yeah, just to get a meld of eights going, and partner through one, I
And
thought,
then jack is a safe card.
yeah, because they're 6.
And then some people wait, you know, with the pair of 8s, they might think it's a safe card. Some people wait to get more cards on the pack, but they're already ready to go out. So,
We need to find a match with their partner.
oh, so now they got rid of their 8s, yeah.
Wow.
But I think there's a lot of wild cards still left in the pack. But then again, sometimes the bots are programmed not to add wild cards.
Huh.
Because I once waited and opened with, you know, wild card meld thinking that I was safe because they had a bunch of melds of 5 cards. And then after I opened, then they wound up putting down like 3 jokers.
Hmm.
So, all right, so
5.
5s they close, so that's
5
safe.
stick close.
So at this point, if I had an 8, I would add it just to see if our partner or a king,
Yeah.
just to see if our partner
Well,
had any
partner's
wild.
putting stuff down to try to
Well,
make a
actually, we
match.
can't close queens or kings now because they
Right.
have more than 4. So the only, oh God, we can't close anything except the 6s that's on the table. If you look at
Jeez.
what they have
Yeah,
more
they've
than
got-
4 kings, they have more than
Yeah.
they have 4 kings. So I think at this point I would put the
But
6 down.
I would.
Yeah.
Maybe our partner has a couple with some wilds.
So now I'm just looking, I think they
I
just
think
picked the pack before, so they probably have the 2 4s.
But what are we gonna throw? An 8? We don't want to throw aces because they
Yeah,
have.
no, I think we just throw the 4, yeah.
Yeah, well, let them get stuck with aces.
Yeah.
This is an example too. Usually the first person to open team can often control the game. And they got a nice,
Especially if they're playing according to what we think is good strategy of not picking the pack and just putting everything down, but they're picking and saving so they can pick the pack.
Mm.
So, oh, that's funny. Now they throw a 4. So that, oh, they only have 1 card. That's why they threw the 4.
Oh, they've got 1
So they
card.
probably either they know their partner has more than 2 aces and 2 7s because they were just seeing what the pack had, or they have no. But even if they had a wild card, they should
He
have
didn't
been.
have anything to throw. That's why he threw the 4.
Yeah.
And he didn't ask him to go out because
Yeah.
he knew he was stuck with stuff.
Yeah. All right. So we'll throw the.
That's the 4. Well, they got a lot of 3s.
So it's a good thing we only have
1
2
ace.
3s. At least we won't be penalized that much with 2 3s. Oh, wow. They still didn't go out.
Must have maybe a wild. Oh, all those 4s. Hmm. That's a second ace.
Mhm.
It's 3 aces.
Nope, now they can.
All right, we got well left on
Yes,
this
so,
one.
well, I guess they got rid of what they needed to, either that or they can't get rid of what they needed to. Nope, they did. So they're stuck with, they weren't stuck at all. They had a pair of aces and a pair of 7s.
Yeah.
All
We
right,
just-
so
the cards weren't with us, but the good
No.
thing is we'll only need 125. They'll need 155. So we'll try it again. It's the luck of the draw of cards. There is a luck element here.
so we have a pair of jacks to go with the joker and the 2, and we have a triple of 9s. So we're pretty close.
Hmm.
That doesn't help us with points.
Mhm.
Here they did a 5, I'll do a 6. Okay. Oh,
There
there
we
we
go.
go. So we're opening,
60, 80.
we have 130.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, so this, and then psychologically, I just think that people keep in their hand face cards more than other cards. That's
Mhm.
just, that's not anything
Yeah.
specific.
Yeah,
It's
I
just-
think you're right. You're right. So you're gonna put
So
it on the
I
nine?
actually put the wild card on the nines. And
Mhm.
unfortunately, we're in fifth position there. They can't pick the nines, but I have a feeling that our partner would more likely keep. And actually, you know what? I'm gonna throw a king.
Oh, really? Okay.
I think holding sometimes lower cards gets you set to pick the pack when the other team has
Yeah,
an
well,
open.
they need 155 also. Now the threes will go out after when we get our turn the next time.
And the same thing happens when you're playing. Oh, see, that's interesting. I don't know why they would have.
I
put
don't,
the-
I think they're programmed. I would not, folks, be putting down 2 jacks. I would be holding it to pick the discard pile, and I don't know why the
Yeah.
computer does that.
But now, actually, since they
Now-
did, we could close the
Yeah, we can do
jacks
that. We can close the jacks and they're knocked
Yeah.
out of jacks.
and then get rid of the dangerous 7 in case they get a special or anything.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, we don't want to have a canasta.
All right, so no. All
Hmm.
right, so let's see. We could look back and see what they threw.
We
That
have
doesn't-
4 and a 9.
Well, we know our partner doesn't have a 4, so maybe
True,
let's,
yeah, yeah,
or the partner could be baiting the pack, but
yeah.
we discuss in the book where if you have 3, sometimes 3 of a kind, sometimes you'll throw that card. So
The
other
third,
team-
the third
third.
card to bait
the
them.
other team doesn't think you have it.
Hmm.
So here are 8, 10 or queen. They haven't opened yet. I'm gonna go with a queen.
Okay.
Because at this point, now that we opened, I mean, yes, you get more points by putting higher value cards on the table, but I just think that they need high cards, so they might throw.
Interesting. They threw an ace. I wonder if they're going for a special. Why
Probably.
would you throw an ace over there if you haven't opened?
Or if you know you have no wild cards. Sometimes I'll throw it. Usually it's I'm going for a special. But if I have
Yes.
no wild cards and it's a
Now,
180,
hold on one second. Why would you lay down 4 kings?
Oh.
They got a special.
so what'd they get? 4. Oh, did they do the 5, 4, 3? Oh, I don't see that one that often. I had that one the other day.
5. So which special? They got the 5, 4, and
3,
2
2.
pairs. Right, okay. When I saw that ace go out, I thought they were going for a special hand. Well, their
Yeah, I was
partner
thinking the
had
other
4
time I'll
aces.
go-
Their
I'm-
partner had 4
Oh,
aces.
so yeah, so they were lucky that they got a special.
Right, oh, yeah, because that
If I
doesn't
have a
count.
180 and I don't think I'm gonna get the 180 and I have 2 aces and then I get another ace, but I don't have a wild to put it with. Even, I might throw the ace just to not be stuck with it, even though I'm trying to open, but that's a rare occurrence. Usually if you have a wild, you're safe with it.
Yeah, just for folks who aren't familiar with special hands, it's 1 lump sum and the partner's cards do not count against them, nor they don't get the 3s. We had 1 canasta that saved us, but let's see what the next, and our partner had some wild cards, couldn't do anything. All
Yeah.
right, not the greatest. Maybe we'll get lucky here. They need 180 points now.
This would be our only game that we've filmed that we didn't have a winning result, I think.
I'll tell you, yeah.
Right, so we have pair 5, 6, and 8.
So one of those.
We're only at 125. I think we just throw the 10, the jack, or the king, either any of
Yeah,
them.
any one of them, any one of them. Now 180, if they don't have the big guys, the jokers, they're gonna be looking at a special hand.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll get an advantage here.
So let's see. So we have 8, we have 6, and we have 1 joker. So we're at 90. And if we got the ace, that would be great. Oh, well, I don't have to worry about it.
Yeah,
But Joker is the one card that if we're waiting, If you're
Oh,
waiting for a joker for a special,
hello.
it's the one card that there's only 4 of. So if you're waiting for that joker for a special, sometimes it's kind of,
Well, look what our partner just
yeah,
opened.
no, I know. Let's see. So, okay, this is perfect. I am not going to pick the pack, even though we can, because then I don't pick a card. And even though we only have 1 joker and there's 37 cards left, and hopefully our partner does, I'm not going to waste a pick on, okay, so we add that. And now, I know you always say keep things in hand. Would you consider putting 3 8s down or no?
No, I'd throw a jack or a queen.
Okay. Now let's hope our partner had a,
If they would have,
oh, well, they picked the
They
pack.
picked the
That's a
pack.
good sign.
well, you only need one more wild card. And if it's juicy enough of a pack, I would give up a turn. Although they could be going for a special. So, the
So
strategy.
now so it's in the 5th position, so we can't pick the pack with this.
Oh, we
Oh,
can't.
look what we
Oh, we
got.
got the 2.
Ah.
Oh,
And just
yeah.
by the way, I mean, I think this is etiquette when you're playing in person and online. If your partner puts out either wild cards, pure aces, or pure 7s, I think that should be the first cards you add to the meld when you go. I know that's like a silly pet peeve, but if you have 4s and 6s and aces and wilds, and you put like a 4 down and then a 6, and then you close the wild card, I don't know. Do you have a thought on that?
No, you mean you're saying just close it out
I think
first?
you close the risky ones first, just in.
Oh, yeah. Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Oh, gosh, yes. Yeah.
Okay, so now, since we have 1, should I add the 6s and just try to get 2 and get out?
Well, wait a minute. Did you pick? No, did this part? The 6s will close it out. We have 5 6s up there.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And
Yeah,
then
I would close it and get out of dodge.
I think we just try to get out as much as we
Yeah, I
can.
would put, put the 5s and put the 3 8s up.
Okay, yep, I agree.
Yeah.
So if you notice, we just shifted. We got our wild, we have 2, they haven't opened yet, they're at 180. To be at 180 when we have a wild card canasta is really tough for them, because that means that 7 of the wild cards are not able to be in their hands. So in this case, in order for us to be the player that goes out, we would have to discard at least 2 aces and 1 7.
Yeah.
So do we start and get rid of 1 since there's only 2 cards on the pack at this time?
Right. So hopefully we'll get jacks maybe to
Yeah.
lay down jacks.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would take a chance at this point. They're not open. Doesn't look like they're opening anytime
And if they
soon.
pick the pack with an ace, they would have to pick it with, they would not be able to add any wild cards down.
Right.
So I think we're pretty safe putting aces.
So, and our partner's laying down what they can.
Right.
Yeah. So that's the only time that we're breaking the signaling rule.
Right.
Is we're dumping stuff because they're not open, and the chances.
And I think your
that-
partner would recognize that too. Now,
They
in
would.
the
The
pack,
bots may
there's,
not be. The bots may not be recognizing it.
so in the pack, there's 1 ace and there's 1 7. So what would you discard now?
The ace.
Okay.
Because if they're going for a special,
Oh, wow. So now there's 2 aces and 2 7s in the pack.
yeah, well, we're closed out of the 5s. If they're going for a special, they might need 2 aces. If they had wild cards, we'll see.
Oh,
Oh,
so
yes,
this is
that-
interesting. So now we discard the
Close
7.
the 7.
And
yeah.
now if we pick a jack on our next pick,
Go out.
go out. Now, at this point, if someone discards it, a computer 3 discarded a jack, you would not pick the pack with 22 cards left and all those aces and 7s in there.
No, I would not.
Me neither. Oh, well, at least we can get rid of the 8. Oh, but if we get rid of the 8,
We
Question.
can't go out with a jack. We
do
really
we just
need,
see, you really need 3 cards to have a pure, and since our partner didn't put jacks down. So if we get rid of the 8 by melding it, then we'd have to break up our pair of jacks.
right. And if our partner had remember, we've used up wild cards, so we're not going to close out an 8 canasta so
I think we
easily.
just discard it.
It discard the 8, yeah.
So that's interesting.
Yeah, well, I think it's a safe card to throw. We're not
All
picking.
right, so that's
that.
good. Now, you see, now we like getting threes because now they're just all bonus points.
Right.
Come on, Jack.
Jack, Jack.
Oh, shoot. See, now,
You throw
there's-
the 7, maybe?
yeah, well, there's already three there. I think there's two. There's 2 7. No, that's the third 7. You never want to throw the 5th ace or 5th 7 in the pack. Because if the person you're throwing to has 2 of those, they can pick it and close the pure of that.
Right.
Oh,
Uh,
so we have nothing with 5. I think now we break up the jack. I think it's too risky to keep throwing aces at this point.
All right. Then we're gonna have to hope our partner, oh,
Yeah.
they're open now.
Well, that's interesting that they're opening, and well, if they open and close a canasta, I think they'd have the points to win.
Yeah,
God, they really used a lot of cards.
well, they had one joker. Cause, yeah. Now we're up to the turn card. We have to see if the partner matches. Well, the ace is probably relatively safe, because if we're counting what we have in there and they've used the 2 to open.
Right.
And they did close out a canasta.
Right,
Oh,
so
put the king down.
and then, so so you think we could throw the ace?
Yeah, yeah. And we had 1. There's the jack.
All right, come on, king or 4.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Ah, king.
So we don't even have to ask our partner if we can go out, because
Right,
this
'cause-
is the last card. So we could put the king there, we could put the wild card there, and we could put that. So look at that. That was a big round for us.
Yeah, we pulled it up. What did they had one canasta, one mixed canasta. So they had a round total of 540. Finally, we were able to
Yeah.
pull it out. Now it's a closer game. So let's see what the next round. We need a good next round.
Yeah. Okay, so let's see. So we're at 180 also.
We're at 180. Oh, right. We're
Yeah.
over. So interesting. So this is the time. Well, we've got a joker there, which is
Yeah.
good, and we've got a lot of high value cards.
Yeah, but we just don't have any triples.
We've got 3
We got the
pairs
pair of kings and pair of 10s.
and pair of 9s.
Yeah. So these aren't really, don't get tricked into thinking this is your actual score. I'm just looking at the pairs that we have.
You're going to see a lot of low cards come out because we both
Oh,
need
yeah.
180.
Yep. So this would be the perfect time if you had a pair of 4s and can make the meld with higher cards to keep the 4s in hand. Oh,
Oh.
there we go. All right, we'll keep them for now.
5s. So we're looking at a special hand, folks, at this point.
The only problem, like I was saying before, is there's only 3 other jokers. Every other card, there's 8.
Well, that's
So if you're
true.
doing
Yeah,
special jokers, it really limits.
you're right.
you.
You're right.
Pick
You're
a
right. with
joker,
the
then I'd be
jokers, yeah,
like,
yeah.
All
All
right,
right.
so let's see. I think we have plenty of high cards that we can keep then for now.
So we have 30, 50,
We have
70,
120. So if
120.
we get another ace, we'd have 160.
Yeah,
So maybe we throw the 8.
yeah, that's fine. Any one of those. Nice to have another joker.
Yeah. Nope. Not very helpful. All right, that's good. So now we have 2 pure. So do you think we keep The jack and the queen and break up the 4, or you think we throw one of the jack or the queen?
Are we at all close to a special if we
It really
throw it?
depends on if we pick, I mean, so what I always do is if I don't have wild cards, I look at, or am I close to 7 pairs, any 7?
Yeah.
If
Right,
I have wilds, do I have aces or 7s? Once
Yeah.
you have wilds and you, then under 7 sets of numbers, the next is 5 sets of numbers for the zip code. So
Right.
have king, 10, 9, 4, and then we have to have a joker because you cannot discard jokers. So that joker has to be part of whatever hand we do. So those would be our 5, king, 10, 9, 4 joker. So, I mean, I think we could throw a jack or a queen because we're hoping for an ace or a joker anyway at this point. To
right.
eat
Yeah,
whatever.
it really, that's what's gonna make it, yeah, yeah.
Or our partner has a great hand.
Yeah, well,
Oh,
so,
very good.
there we go.
Yeah,
So
now
having
this
those
is
4s
great.
in the hand might be a good,
Yep. So now this is great
capturing.
because we have a lot of pairs and triples.
All right, oh,
Beautiful.
good, good.
Oh, we
He
match
had-
nicely.
Oh, look at that. Throwing a 10. All right, let's see what they're gonna do.
So assuming we don't pack and we have those 3 9s, I
Let's see.
think a
They
great
threw-
strategy is to just add, oh, we could close the canasta. All right, so let's say we can't close it. If we only had 3 9s, I think a great strategy would be to put 1 down, let them think that's the only card we had, and then the player to our right would throw us the 9s.
Right,
Since we can close a pure,
right, and there aren't any 9s on the loose, really. We've got
No.
7 of them right there, so
so I think
close,
we,
close it.
yeah,
Yeah,
and then this
always
way,
good.
I mean, right now, it doesn't matter if they get a special, they would win, but this way, if it's
Yeah,
a different part of the game, that would protect us, that we at least.
it's
won't get
always
picked.
good to have at least one canasta. Now, we're not gonna put down that. We want to sit with pairs. Would you
So
throw
get
the
rid of
king
it.
out? Would you throw the king and bait them, or what? They threw a
At this point,
7.
I would throw the jack, and then maybe
Yeah,
next time I would bait them.
yeah,
if we.
okay, all right. If anything, we'll probably see a
And when,
4.
and when Donna's saying bait, that maybe they would remember or look back the 3 and see that, oh, they threw a king, maybe they don't have any, and then they would throw us the pack.
Right, they're gonna throw lower cards, and there's 2 7s in the pack.
Yeah.
At this point,
Well,
Karen.
now it's even getting close to, would we even pick the pack? I mean, it's getting,
Yeah,
at least
There's a
now we have
9.
a safe discard. You know what? There's only 15 cards left. I think we put the kings down.
in case they get a special.
Well, in case they get a special, but our partner might be doing the same strategy as us and keeping
Yeah.
it.
Is there anything really great in that pack that we could use? There's a lot of 5s in there.
No, but there were a lot, I think, weren't there? And now I'm getting confused because we're narrating, but I think with only 15 cards left, we would only have what, 4 turns, let's say? We'd have enough turns to get rid of all the 7s.
Oh, there's only 2 7s in the
Oh,
pack.
there's, okay.
What, you want to wait one more round? Well, we could only pick.
Well, why
it
don't we
with
throw
two-
the 9 because we know they can't pick
Yeah,
the
we know
pack.
that's safe. Yeah, well, they're not doing anything. I mean, it'll be a big difference of 30, 40 points. Shoot. Now he's throwing 8s. Okay.
All
Well,
right, so I think
maybe,
now we put the kings down and then throw a
Yeah.
10.
yeah. Yeah. And what about the ace?
Yeah, because our partner might be sitting too, and at that point,
Yeah.
then we're both just,
Yeah, yeah.
all right, well, at least they didn't pick it with the 10.
Well,
They
they,
don't-
oh, you mean to open? They can't unless they're going for a special.
No, I'm saying at least they didn't pick the pack, like at least
I
they,
mean, and open with it?
yeah. All right, so that's good. So we know we can't do anything with our wilds, but we just threw them a 10. Hopefully it's still,
Yeah, yeah.
oh goodness.
So, okay, question, do we have 2, we don't have 2 canastas.
So we
We're
don't
at
have
the
2 canastas, we have 1. So right now, our score would be 0 for the 3s. If we pick the pack, we might be able to offload the aces because we have room for 2 more aces in the pack.
Mhm.
We'll definitely be stuck, I think, with 7s.
There's 3, I think there's 3 7s.
So that would be minus 1,500, but with 40 cards, I think that would be a good offset.
I think so. And what was I gonna say?
And either way, this is a good learning experience.
Yeah, I mean, it's a calculated risk. We usually, yeah, let's do it. There's
If you
tens in there.
hadn't, let's say we didn't have that 9, then I definitely would have picked the pack because
Oh,
those
God.
threes would
How
have been
many
huge.
7, 2, 4, there's 6 7s in there, Dara.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's a good gamble.
Yeah,
Oh, well, look at that. We're not, we don't have any, we had no aces in there. That's interesting. What's interesting is the other day I put the 7s out knowing my partner, because they had just picked a pack and I had put 7s out and the person to my left went out or got a special before my partner could add anything.
Oh, geez.
I know. Oh, good. We'll close
Well,
the fools.
Do you see, our partner never threw a 7.
We could close we can close the 10s. All right. So we definitely offset 1,500 of 7s in hand.
Yeah,
If we put the 7s out and our partner doesn't have or doesn't get a turn because they get a special, then it's minus 2,500.
yeah,
So either way, we're still up 1,400 for the round.
yeah, we sit with them.
What do you think? This is like all in.
It's a gamble. They've only got 3 cards. We never saw them throw a 7. Our
But you know what,
opponent,
though? Did we throw a 7 this round?
no.
So then I think maybe we do go for it, only because maybe they assumed that since we didn't throw a 7, they had to keep them in hand.
Well, the other thing is too,
Oh, wait a second. No. Hold on. Look at our score. We have 9,100. I don't want to do anything. Oh, no, but less than 1,500. Less than 5. So we have.
well, the other thing is, do we gamble to really take the round and the game if we get a 2,500 7s canasta?
Right.
Yikes. They've got 7, 8, 1, and everything else, everything's gonna be minus. There's only 4 more cards left. We take a 1,500 hit and they
I mean,
take a hit.
$1,000 difference. If we keep them in hand to get penalized, or if we put them on the table, to get penalized.
Well, to go for broke, if we got 2,500, we'd win the round, probably.
Go for broke.
Let's go for broke. Yeah, we're not playing for thousands of dollars here.
And also you have to realize we're playing against bots and we're doing this as a learning experiment. You have to know your partner. If you know your
Yes.
partner keeps aces and 7s when they have them, or if you know your partner doesn't, or if you know they'd be pissed if you tried, you read it. You can't communicate, but you read how they play if you've played with them before.
And we have to have the
So
only
I
thing we
can't
can
do an 8, I can't do a 9, I can't do, so I have to do the queen.
have
It's
to
the only
throw a
non-game
queen.
card.
Yeah.
All right, at least they didn't get a special, because that would have been.
They closed out the 7. All right, we gambled and we won.
That was a good gamble. Oh my,
They got a special right after.
that is funny.
Wow.
Wow, we eat that. So see, you can't, it isn't over till it's over.
Well, and
That
we
was great.
gambled. We didn't gamble with calculating what a special would do to their hand. I
Right.
didn't think about that. But we gambled at where we were, that 2,500 would put us in
Yeah.
good stead, particularly if
Wow.
they didn't have a special, then they'd be down and wow. Oh my gosh.
And that's funny. Our partner had 2 wild cards left, a 7 and 2 wilds.
Oh,
So-
wow. Well, so they were going for specials, folks. I mean, that's all
Yes,
they
they
could
did a
do.
zip code, which in our book, we actually value the zip code much lower. Because if you start playing on RealCanasta, if you start playing in person, you'll see, the most common special hand you see is the zip code. It's 4 of a kind, 3 of a kind, 3 of a kind, 2 of a kind, 2 of a kind. And there is no requirement about whether or not wild cards are in or not in. The only thing is if you use 2s, the 2s must match. And if you use jokers, the jokers must match. You can't mix wild cards. but you could use 3 2s and 2 jokers, anything. So we think that if you get a few zip codes, you could win the game. We don't think it should be based on that. It's a partner game. And then the other difference we have is, I'll open the screen.
Well, I also want to say one other thing about the zip code. We looked and we looked, as Dara was saying, and we know 9 out of 10 times somebody makes a zip code hand for a special, and they're the easiest to make, and they are given way too much points.
Yeah.
And in our book, not just in our book, but in our real book, it's 1,500, and that makes a difference.
Right. And then the other thing that we do different than them is they have a dream hand, which is 8,500 points.
Oh,
And
wow.
we actually don't have any hand in the book that ends the whole game. Because yes, special hands are individual and one partner gets the special for the team. So we didn't feel that as a partner game, one partner should end the whole game. So that was,
Yeah.
but other than that, basically most of the rules are in line with RealCanasta.
Right, and you see here how special hands were used as strategies. When you need 180 points, you have to go for a special hand. And by the way, they took a chance with that special hand. We don't know if they had to have at least 3 aces. If we had gone
Yeah,
out,
I think they had 4 aces, yeah.
right, if we had gone out, they would have been up the creek even more.
And what's so interesting is just how luck that computer 3 got the special and not computer 1. Because if a computer 1 got the special, our partner wouldn't have closed the 7s and they would have won.
Yeah.
So it's interesting.
Yeah.
It's really, that's what's so interesting about Canasta. It is never the same game twice. There are so many different little nuances. And something you had taught me when we first started discussing is that it really is a game of fairness. So when they were doing better than us and their score was 180 or 155 and we were still at 125, it incorporates and lets the team that didn't do as well have an easier way to get back into the game.
And this was the perfect example. You're never out until it's over.
Yeah, I
And
think
how
at 1,500 to their 5,400 or something like that. So
I mean, they won the first 2. I mean, they were in control of the first 2
second
rounds.
and third games, the second and third rounds, they did much better than us. Yeah.
Okay, we're gonna
So-
close it out since we went
Yeah,
out
no,
with
that
the,
was great. So
went out
thank
with
you.
a bang with 7.
Thank you so much for joining us for this.
Yes,
And
thanks. Come back again soon, and we'll be keeping canasta and hands and play going.
And do us
please-
a favor, send us an email or join us on Facebook on Modern American Canasta and watch our YouTube channel. Any questions you have, we are your Canasta hotline, and we want to build a Canasta community so players could connect and find games and enjoy this game.
Yeah.
All right, so hold on.